Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jerry Chambers. I'll be speaking to you in the next few minutes about shingles and how it affects us at our nursing home. Well, start off with, we're going to try to figure out what is shingles. Most of us, I know I'm just going to be going over what most of us already know, but just to rehash it, shingles is a strain, the same strain of virus that produces chickenpox. And if you've had chickenpox in the past, you're susceptible to be given, or you're susceptible for the shingles virus later on. Shingles can be a minor issue, and it can range from a rash, a painful rash, and it can go all the way up to neurological problems and even loss of vision. So while it's not thought of in the bigger scope of terms as maybe as heart disease and cancer, it is something that we should pay attention to definitely at a nursing home, because most of the time we're dealing with seniors, and seniors over age 80, nearly half of them will be susceptible to be getting shingles. That goes into how it affects us. My idea was to come up with a brochure, and anytime that a new patient comes into our facility, upon check-in, we'd like to have a nurse provide them with the information, and as well as their first consultation with our doctors, we'd like to also help them understand what shingles is, and not only help them understand it, let them know that, hey, this is preventable. This is something we can help treat to an extent. There's vaccines that can prevent it from 2 years all the way up to 5 years. It's not 100% foolproof, but most of the time, studies have shown they do work, so that's something to keep in mind. We just educate them, and we'd like to give them this brochure and make sure it's got a lot of information here, and we'd just like to make sure that the nurses on staff, when this is happening upon check-in, are giving them there, and the doctors are making sure, doing their due diligence, and letting the patients know that there are options, and we'd like to prevent this and catch this in time. To go along with the shingles brochure that I was giving out, I'd like to dive into another health literacy option, or another health literacy barrier that we could avoid, and that is dealing with national standards for culturally and linguistically appropriate services, class standards. Most of us are aware of what class is. I know I'm rehashing, but we want to make sure that we're following these standards and that we are up to date and trying to provide the best health care and the best services that we can do for our patients. So, one of the ways that I've come up with, and I'd like that you seriously consider it, I believe that along with the pamphlet and along with trying to educate them, this goes into shingles, and not just covers shingles, it covers a multitude of anything that we're dealing with as far as the medical sense. I know that we're a small facility and that we might be on a little bit tighter of a budget. It'd be something that we should really look into though, and that's a medical interpreter. Medical interpreters are school trained, they're professionals, and they can be right along with the doctors and nurses dealing with the population, the patients, because we're in Houston, and in Houston we have a very diverse population. It's actually ranked one of the most diverse cities in the United States. So we're going to be getting different people of ethnicities and race, or ethnicities and religion, and all over different types of people. So we need to be able to interpret that and be there right with them to hopefully eliminate that health barrier and let them understand the information and what services that we can provide. And I believe a medical interpreter would be the way to go. Right now we currently don't want to have one on staff, but the average cost in Houston is around $45,000 a year as annual salary for medical interpreters, and I believe that if we were to go that route, it would free up a lot of time by not having to train our already existing staff. They're busy people, and by hiring somebody, you already have somebody that's school trained, like I said, professional. And in conclusion, I'd like to thank everyone for their time. In conclusion, I'd like you to think about not only the brochure, the idea about the brochure, but also the medical interpreter and how it can help us to eliminate any healthcare barriers and provide the best service we can do in conforming with the class standards. Thank you again very much, and hopefully you consider it. Thank you very much.